Good morning everyone, I am Marie M. Kalantok from BSc 3 Math, and together with my group mates, we are going to discuss about the bands. But first, let us now identify our learning outcomes. At the end of the discussion, the students should be able to first define basic terms, second, discuss the types of bands, third, give the basic features of a band, fourth, find the band valuation, and last, determine the current yield for a band. So to start, let us now identify what is a band. A band is a contract of debt whereby one party called the issuer borrows fund from another party called the investor. It is written, promise to pay a specified sum of money called the redemption value at a specified future date called the redemption date. When we say bond, our main keyword is, for us to easier remember what is bond, is a contract of debt. The issuer is the one who borrows fund, particularly money, and the one who gives the borrowed money is the investor. If the money summed up with the amount of money the issuer borrowed and its interest, it is called the redemption value, and the date when the money to be paid is the redemption date. Moving on, let us discuss the different types of bonds. The first type of bonds is the corporate bonds. They are debt securities issued by private and public corporations. Companies issue corporate bonds to raise money for a variety of purposes such as a new plant, building, purchasing equipment, or growing the business. Under corporate bonds, we have the investment grade. Investment grade are bonds that have a higher credit rating, implying less credit risk than high-yield corporate bonds. For example, an investor may demand a yield of 3% for a 10-year bond rated AAA or the investment grade due to the extremely low credit risk, but demand a yield of 7% for a 10-year bond rated B, non-investment grade, due to the higher implied credit risk associated with the bond. The second type of the bonds are the federal government bonds. U.S. government bonds are called treasury notes when the maturity is more than 1 year but less than 10, and treasury bonds when the maturity is more than 10 years. Despite the difference in terminology, they are both bonds. So federal government bonds is a debt security issued by a government to support government spending and obligations. Government bonds can pay periodic interest payments called coupon payments. Government bonds issued by national governments often considered low-risk investments since the issuing government backs them. The third type of bond is high-yield bonds. These are bonds have that lower credit rating, implying higher credit risk that investment grade bonds, and therefore offer higher interest rates in return for the increased risk. High yield bonds are also called junk bonds. They are bonds that pay higher interest rates because they have lower credit ratings than investment grade bonds. High yield bonds are more likely to default, so they pay a higher yield than investment grade bonds to compensate investors. So when we say compensate, it is to give someone something, typically money, in recognition of loss, suffering, or injury incurred. Our next type of bond is the municipal bonds. So, municipal bonds called munis are debt securities issued by states, cities, countries, and other government entities. So, they issue this type of bond to fund a day-to-day obligation and to finance capital projects such as building schools, highways, or sewer systems. Governments use munis bonds to raise funds for projects that will benefit the public. The common examples of municipal bonds are roads, highways, bridges, and other infrastructure. So under municipal bonds, we have general obligation bonds. They are the bonds that are not secured by any assets. Instead, they are backed by full faith and credit of the issuer, which has the power to tax residents to pay bondholders. Example of the types of projects funded by general obligation bonds are the construction of public schools and highway systems. Next is revenue bonds. Instead of taxes, these bonds are backed by revenues from a specific project or source, such as highway tolls or lease fees. Some revenue bonds are non-recourse, meaning that if the revenue stream dries up, the bondholders do not have a claim on the underlying revenue source. Revenue bonds are a class of municipal bonds issued to fund public projects and then repay investors from the income created by that project. For instance, a toll road or utility can be financed with municipal bonds with creditors, interest and principal repaid from the tolls or fees collected. And last but not the least is the conduit bonds. Governments sometimes issue municipal bonds on behalf of private entities such as non-profit colleges or hospitals. These conduit borrowers typically agree to repay the issuer who pays the interest and principal on the bonds. If the conduit borrower fails to make a payment, the issuer usually is not required to pay the bond holders. A conduit bond is a type of municipal bond sold by governmental entity for the purpose of making proceeds available to a private entity, usually in furtherance of a public purpose. An example would be bonds in connection with non-profit hospitals or affordable housing. So the other types of bonds will be discussed by my groupmate.
So let's now move on to the important features of bonds. So we have here the face value or par value. It says here that it refers to the value stated on the fact of the bond, which shows the amount which the company or government body promises to pay at the time of maturity. So sa previous lessons natin is nai-encounter na natin yung tungkol sa face value and par value. So ito yung babayaran mo or na-promise mo na babayaran mo at the time na magbabayad ka na or at the time of the maturity. So next one is coupon rate and bond rate. It is the interest rate on the par value for the periodic coupon payment. It is nothing but a fixed rate of interest rate to the bondholder. So, just like the rate in our last topic, so ganun din dito, meron din siyang rate. Of course, lahat naman ng investments ay may rate. So, next one is maturity value or redemption value. The amount which will be paid on the redemption date. So, this is the amount or isa rin ito sa mga hahanapin natin or merong formula in the next topics. So, hahanapan natin siya ng mga answers. So, parang siya yung nawawala, ganon. Next one is the coupon. It is the contract to pay a periodic payment on a specific date. The coupons can be detached and cashed through the bank. So, we are very familiar with the coupon. Just like, parang ata to sa collateral, which is, magkakaroon ka ng contract on the government or establishments na iyong nagkuhanan. So, it may be detached as cash or to the bank. Next one is redemption rate. It is the rate on the principal. It is used to find the redemption value. So, dito sa redemption rate, makikita nyo mamaya sa mga susunod or sa mga example natin kung ano yung redemption rate. 'Di ba? Meron tayong coupon rate and meron pa tayong redemption rate. So, dalawa yung rate na nasa given. So, makikita natin mamaya sa mga susunod pang reports or sa mga examples. Next one is redemption date. So, syempre, kung may redemption rate, meron ding redemption date. The date on which the bond will be redeemed. How will we define the redeem? So, dito, according to my searches, it is all about on yung pagtubos mo sa yung money or anything. So, next one is bond yield. It is the discount rate at which the present value of bond cash flows equal to the market price of the bond. Some measures of bond yield include current yield, yield to maturity, and yield to call. So we have different types of bond yield. So again, makikita natin ito on how we found it, or nasa given ba siya, ganon. Next one is collateral and credit enhancement. So lahat naman tayo is aware about the collateral. Of course, collateral is the main bond issues are backed by the issuer's assets or financial guarantees from third parties. So ito lang yung panghahawakan nila. Next one is yield rate. Of course, meron tayong bond yield. Of course, meron tayong yield rate. It is often called the investment rate because this is the rate of interest derived by the investor from the purchase value of the bond.
So other types of bonds is treasury securities. Bonds, bills, and notes issued by the U.S. government are generally called treasuries and are the highest quality securities available. They are issued by U.S. Department of the Treasury through the Bureau of Public Debt. And also, it considered one of the safest investment because they are backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government, and they are differentiated by maturity dates which range from 30 days to 30 years. Under Treasury securities, there are other types of bonds. First is the Treasury bills. These are short-term securities that mature in less than 1 year. They are sold at a discount from their face value and thus don't pay interest prior to maturity. So these are short-term securities that mature in less than 1 year. Compared to treasury bonds, are considered long-term debt securities maturity 30 years after they sold. And also, this is treasury bills is less interest than the treasury bond. Next is the treasury notes. It earns a fixed rate of interest every 6 months and have maturities ranging from 1 to 10 years. And also, T-notes or the treasury notes is mature anywhere between 2 and 10 years with biannual interest payments, while T-bills or the treasury bills have the shortest maturity terms from 4 weeks to a year. And last types of treasury securities is treasury inflation protected securities, or also known as TIPS. It is inflation index bonds. The principal value of TIPS is adjusted by changes in the consumer price index. They are typically offered in maturities ranging from 5 to 20 years. So TIPS are set up to protect you against inflation. Unlike other treasury securities where the principal is fixed, the principal of TIPS can go up or down over its term. When TIPS matures, if the principal is higher than original amount, you get an increased amount. Next, other types of bonds is corporate bonds. So these bonds is corporation may issue bonds to fund a large capital investment or a business expansion. Corporate bonds tend to carry a higher level of risk than government bonds, but they generally are associated with higher potential yields. And also, this corporation may issue bonds to fund a large capital investment or a business expansion. Debt securities issued by private and public corporation. Companies issue corporate bonds to raise money for a variety of purposes such as building a new plant, purchasing equipment, or growing the business. So for the last types of bonds is zero coupon bonds. And this type of bond, also called accrual bond, doesn't make a coupon payment but it is issue at a steep discount. The bond is redeemed for its full value upon maturity. Zero coupon bonds tend to fluctuate in price more than coupon bonds. They can be issued by the U.S. Treasury, corporations, and state and local government entities, and generally have long maturity dates. And also, these are bonds that pay no coupon or interest payment. And with the zero, instead of getting interest payment, you buy the bond of a discount from the value of the bond and are paid the face amount when a bond matures.
So, dito naman tayo sa bond valuation. The price an investor can pay for a bond to return the desired yield on the value of a bond may be determined, and the process is called bond valuation. So, dito sa bond valuation, meron tayong 5 formulas. First, yung kung hinahanap natin dito is yung ating RV, yung formulang gagamitin natin is RV is equal to FB times RR. Next naman is kung yung ating coupon payment yung nawawala, yung formulang gagamitin natin is CP is equal to FB times B. And kapag yung ating BP naman yung hinahanap o yung ating bond premium, yung formulang gagamitin natin is BP times and BP is equal to PP minus RB. And kung yung PP naman yung hinahanap o yung purchase price or value of the bond, yung formulang gagamitin natin is PP is equal to RV times 1 plus I raised to negative N plus CP, the quantity of 1 minus the quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative N all over I. And last, kung yung ating bond discount naman yung hinahanap, yung formulang gagamitin natin dito is BD is equal to RV minus PP. So let's proceed to example number 1. A 5,000 pesos 6% bond with quarterly coupons is redeemed at 115% at the end of 10 years. Find the coupon payment and the redemption value. So dito sa number 1, dalawa yung hahanapin natin, yung coupon payment and yung redemption value. So first, i-determine muna natin kung ano-ano yung mga given. So yung ating FB dito is 5,000 pesos. Yung ating namang RR yung ating redemption rate is 115%. So gawin natin tong decimal point. So magiging 1.50. Magiging 1.15. At yung ating BR naman is 6%. Yung M natin ay 4 kasi quarterly, and yung B natin is 0.015. Yung formula sa B ay BR over M. So 0.06 divided by 4 is equal to 0.015. So dito una nating hahanapin is yung ating coupon payment. Yung formulang gagamitin natin ay CP is equal to FB times B. CP. Yung FB natin is 5,000 pesos times B o 0.015. CP is equal to 75 pesos. 5,000 times 0.015 is equal to 75. Next, hanapin naman natin yung ating RV o yung ating redemption value of the bond. So, yung formulang gagamitin natin is RV is equal to FB times RR. Yung FB natin is 5,000 times RR o yung ating redemption rate, which is 1.15. So 5,000 times 1.15 is equal to 5,750. So yung ating coupon payment is 75 pesos, and yung ating RV or yung ating redemption value of the bond is 5,750. Let's proceed to number 2. An 8,000 pesos bond with interest at 5% covered semi-annually is redeemable by 112% in 12 years. Find the coupon payment, redemption value, purchase price, and premium that yield the purchaser 3 and 1/2% compounded semi-annually. So dito apat yung hahanapin natin, which is yung coupon payment, yung ating redemption value, yung purchase price, and yung premium that yield the purchaser. So yung given natin dito is yung ating face value of the bond is 8,000 pesos, yung ating redemption rate is 112%, and yung ating time is 12 years. Yung M natin is 2 kasi compounded semi-annually. Yung ating BR is 5%, so ito gagawin nating decimal point, so magiging 0.05. Yung Y naman natin is 3 and 1/2%, so gawing decimal point, so magiging 0.035. Yung N naman natin is 24, yung B natin is BR over M, or 0.05 divided by 2, so magiging 0.025. Yung I naman natin is Y divided by M, or 0.035 divided by 2, so magiging 0.0175. So una nating hahanapin ay yung ating CP o yung ating coupon payment. CP is equal to FB times B, or 8,000 times 0.025. So yung ating coupon payment is 200 kasi 8,000 times 0.025 is equal to 200. Next, yung ating RV o yung ating redemption value. So sa RV, yung formulang gagamitin natin is RV is equal to FB times R or yung ating redemption rate. So 8,000 times 112%, or gagawin nating decimal, so magiging 1.12. So 8,000 times 1.12 is equal to 8,960. So yung ating redemption value dito is 8,960. So next na hahanapin natin is yung ating purchase price. So yung formula na gagamitin natin dito is PP times RV, the quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative N, plus CP or yung ating coupon payment, the quantity of 1 minus the quantity of 1 plus I raised to negative N. So let's substitute the given. So PP is equal to RV. Yung RV natin dito ay 8,960 times 1 plus I o yung 0.0175 raised to negative 24 plus CP o yung ating coupon payment na 200, the quantity of 1 minus 1 plus I or yung ating 0.0175 raised to negative N, negative 24. all over I, or all over 0.0175. Kapag ida-direct natin isolve to, so 8,960 times 1 plus 0.0175 raised to negative 24 is equal to 5,908.56 plus 200, the quantity of 1 plus 0.0175 raised to negative 24 all over 0.0175 is equal to 3,892.14. So para makuha natin yung PP, so ipag-add lang natin itong dalawa. So 5,908.56 plus 3,892.14 is equal to 9,800.70. So yung huling kukunin natin dito is yung ating bond premium. Yung gagamitin nating formula is BP is equal to PP minus RV. Yung ating PP dito is 9,800.70 minus sa ating RV. So yung RV natin is 8,960. So 9,800.70 minus 8,960 is equal to 840.70. So yung ating bond premium is 840.70. Yung ating bond premium is 840.70. Yung ating purchase price is 9,800.70. Yung ating coupon payment is 200, and yung ating redemption value is equal to 8,960.
So what is bond premium and bond discount? So when we say bond premium, it is a purchase price is higher than the face value. Tinatawag natin itong premium. Kapag naman sinabi natin bond discount, ito yung purchase price is lower than face value. It is called discount. So when premium and discount is the same, the face value is called par value. Let's proceed to the first example. Find the bond premium and the purchase price on a 3,000 pesos bond with interest at 5% compounded quarterly, redeemable at par for 7 years and 9 months. If it is to yield 4.5% compounded quarterly. So, ang una natin gagawin is hanapin natin yung mga given. So, first, ang hanapin natin is yung RV, which is redemption value of the bond. So what is it? It is a 3,000. So sa Y naman, equivalent to yield rate, which is 4.5%. So ang T natin is 7 years and 9 months. So ang BR natin, which is bond rate, it is a 5%. So ang M, 4, and ang N natin is 7.75 times 4 is equal to 31. So, ang B natin, which is bond rate per interest period, paano natin makukuha to? BR, our bond rate divided by our M. So, 0.05 divided by 4 is equal to 0.0125. So, paano naman natin kukunin ang I? It is a yield rate per interest period. So Y divided by M. So our Y is 4.5%, which is 0.045 divided by our M, which is 4, is equal to 0.01125. So, let's proceed to the solutions. So, first, hanapin natin yung BP. BP is equal to RV, quantity of B minus I. So, quantity 1 minus Y, 1 plus I raised to negative N over I. So, what is our RV? It is a 3,000. So, our B is 0.0125 minus our I, which is 0.01125. So, 1 copy minus the quantity of 1, copy ulit, then plus our I, which is 0.01125. So 1 plus 0.01125 is equal to 1.01125 raised to negative n, which is 31. So divided by I. So ang RV natin is 3,000. So yung B minus I, pagmaminasin na natin, so the answer is 0.00125. So when we add the quantity there, the answer is 26.04936233. So the answer is 97.69 pesos, which is our BP. So our next step is hanapin natin yung purchase price niya. So RV plus BP. So yung nakuha nating BP is a-add natin sa RV, which is 3,000 plus 97.69 is equal to 3,097.69 pesos. So that's the answer. So let's proceed to the current yield for a bond. It is a simple measure of the return of investment based on the current price. When bonds are purchased at face, the current yield is equal to coupon rate. So let's proceed to the example. Calculate the current yield for a side A electronics bond with a coupon rate of 13 and 1/2% and currently selling at a premium of 107 1/4%. So first, hanapin natin yung given. So our given is V, which is 1,000, and the coupon rate is 13 1/2%, which is 0.135. So our price percent, which is 107.25 divided by 100 is equal to 1.0725. So ang first na hanapin natin is the annual interest. So FV times the coupon rate. So 1,000 times 0.135 is equal to 135 pesos. So that second solutions, the second solution, we get the current price. So FB times the price percent. So 1,000 times 1.0725 is equal to 1,072.50 pesos. So the next is we get the current yield, which is annual interest divided by the current market price. So, i-divide lang natin yung nakuha natin sa una and sa pangalawa. So, 135 divided by 1,072.50 pesos is equal to 0.1258 or 12.58%. So, that is the answer of the problem. So, thank you.